Is reusing charcoal remotely worth it? I'm going to test it from both a saving money standpoint and how well it cooks. And you know me, I'm going to back it up with some good experiments. The money part was pretty easy to calculate. I grilled up some steaks using a full chimney of charcoal, and that weighed in about 1,600 grams. I just bought a couple of bags, and I calculated that one chimney of charcoal costs about $2.20. I lit it like I normally would, and then I dumped it in the Slow and Sear Deluxe for reasons that I'm going to show you just a little bit later in the video. Then I used the cold grate method, where I grilled the steaks for 1 minute per side twice, and then I moved it over to the cooler side of the grill until it came up to the perfect temperature. Then I closed both the top and bottom vents. After that, I ate the steak, and that was a really important part of the experiment. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Closing down the vents makes it so that way it cuts off the oxygen inside of the grill, and that keeps the coals from burning and saves them for the next time. I waited a few days just to make sure the coals were completely out, and this is what I was left with. Even though that was a super hot cook, there were still things in there that looked a lot like briquettes. So I took it out and gave it the old shaky shake to get off any of the extra ash, and then I weighed it in to see how much I had left. After grilling the steaks, I was left with about 800 grams of charcoal, which is about half of what I started with, or $1.10. That's how much I would have wasted if I had just let those coals burn out. But I've always wondered if used charcoal and new charcoal has the same amount of energy per weight, and so I devised an experiment to be able to find out that answer. I took the old charcoal and put it in the Weber kettle, and I lit it with a single fire starter. Then I topped it with my canning pot that was filled with a measured amount of water, so that way I could find out how much energy the charcoal put out as it burned out. Then I repeated the experiment with the exact same amount of new charcoal, so that way I could compare the differences between the two. During the experiment, I noticed one really big difference, and that was that the used charcoal didn't really smoke that much. If you're going and lighting brand new charcoal, you're always going to put off some of that white, nasty smoke that you don't want on your food, but the used charcoal didn't have it. That means one possible use for used charcoal is to add it to a fire that's already going, so that way you don't put off the bad smoke when you need to refuel. I'll save you the math for the results from the experiment, but what I did is I took the starting temperature and the ending temperature of the water and calculated how much energy that would take, as well as how much energy was consumed by evaporating the water that was lost throughout the process. And the results? Well, the used charcoal came in at 2.3 Big Macs worth of energy, and the new charcoal came in at 1.9 Big Macs. Oddly, the same amount of weight of new charcoal got the water to 10 degrees Fahrenheit less than the used charcoal did, and it didn't evaporate as much water. That means that the used charcoal probably has more energy in it per weight than the new charcoal does, which was a big surprise for me. And there are a few reasons why that might have happened. Number one, I could have messed up the experiment. Number two, it is possible that the conditions changed from the first test to the second test, and that could have impacted the results. Or number three, the less energy dense stuff in the charcoal burns off first, leaving the good stuff for later. I absolutely reuse old charcoal, mostly because I'm too lazy to wait for it to be completely out and then throw it away, because nobody likes a dumpster fire. All you need to do is shake out the coals and throw some freshly lit coals on top and let her rip. But there are a couple of exceptions to when I won't reuse charcoal. One of those is if the kettle needs a good cleaning. At the end of the cook, I'll open all of the vents all the way, and that brings up the temperature so it'll burn off a lot of the grease and ash and things in there and make it a lot easier to clean afterward. The other one is for long, low, and slow cooks. I take out the old charcoal because new charcoal takes up less space, so you can cram more in there for a longer cook. And speaking of old charcoal, check out this video where I opened up a bag of 35-year-old charcoal just to see how it cooks.